Hi everyone, Maxine here with Tink and I Treasures. Welcome back to my studio. Today I was just working on some little I don't know, snippet things, masterboard type collage, I guess is what you'd call it. I apologize for my fingers. I was doing I was making some wax seals earlier here, and I thought I would play with some color additive and colored my thumbs, so apologize for that. That's gonna take a few days to wear off. Anyway, I saw this done on another video, and she called it some kind of Tim Holtz. Oh boy, I don't even remember now. She called it a Tim Holtz strip or something like that. I don't know what she was talking about, but I thought, you know what, we're gonna come along and we're going to just, I've been making some here, you know, it's a quiet Sunday afternoon, and I thought, well, why don't I say hi to everyone and just you know, have you join me. So I have some strips of paper here, and these are about 2 inches wide. You know, it doesn't matter, it can be as wide as you want it to be. The length is oh geez. Well, let me do this one before it has something on it. The length is about 8 inches, give or take. So it would work well for like a belly band or a side tuck type of thing. Anyway, I have a bunch of paper that I've cut into strips, different widths, and I've just been gluing them onto this paper. So yeah, not difficult. Thank goodness, huh? Oh, am I in frame? I think so. It's hard to tell. It's hard for me to stand up to see that. So some of these, you know, I went through and trimmed a bunch of things on my cutter, and then I pulled in some other scraps that I've just had hanging out on my table here. Thought, well, let's do something with them too. So I brought in some other scraps that weren't neatly trimmed, but yeah, I had a bunch of scraps, and I just put them through my cutter, and just, you know, made various width strips. So some of them are like a 1/2 inch, some are 1 inch, some are a little bit more than 1 inch, but yeah, they just vary. And it's just some things I like I said, had floating around on my table here. So anyway, so yeah, if you guys know what she meant by a Tim Holtz, what did I say it was? A Tim Holtz strip or something like that. Yeah, let me know, because I had no idea what she was talking about. Obviously I've missed out on something. I don't keep up on what Tim Holtz is doing too much. I know some people do. You know, I like some of their products, but other than that, I have watched a few videos that he has done, and I find them to be just a great big long advertisement, you know. So, I mean, sure, he shows how to use things, which I think is the reason I've watched a time or two, because I thought, well, what do you do with this, or what do you do with that, you know? So I bring up, you know, his video on whatever it is. But yeah, it's just a big old long advertisement. So I get the information I need, and then I turn it off. So yeah, I like to go and, you know, just trim the things that are hanging over the edge every so often. So let's see, I have different widths of these things, like I said, so I'm just trying to vary the width. And I don't know if you can see what I'm doing over here. I'm just using a glue stick for this. I find that a glue stick works a treat for collaging. And it seems like glue stick actually adds another layer. I know that seems odd, because, you know, it's glue. How could it add another layer? But it seems to add another layer. So when everything dries, it's more substantial, if that makes sense. And I don't know, maybe other glues would do the same thing. I don't know that I've used any other glue when it comes to doing collage type work. So I hope I'm staying in frame. I need to figure out where I am. Okay. I need to put one of my little markers down. Should have thought of that before I turned on the video, huh? I like to use washi tape to kind of tell me, you know, not to go, because I tend to want to bring things towards me, you know what I mean? And a lot of times, you know, it comes out of, I'm out of frame when I do that. So anyway, I hope everyone is doing well, having a nice day. I don't know when this video will actually come up, so I mean, it's a pretty Sunday, but this video might come up. I mean, usually the days I release videos is Tuesdays and Saturdays, so it could be that you're gonna see this on a Tuesday or a Saturday and think, what is she talking about? It's not Sunday. Well, no, it's because you have to try and film ahead. There's just no other way to keep up with it, you know. This is not my full-time job. I wish it were. Well, if it was my full-time job, I would be not able to do this, that's for sure. Because I don't make anything doing this. I tried to, there's a place that some other artists, they, buy supplies from, and this place says, that you can be, I don't know what they call it, some like an affiliate type thing, I guess, and they might send you some products so you can feature it on your videos and stuff. And I looked into that, but they have, so much criteria that I just don't qualify for anything like that. I mean, my subbies, I mean, we're a small family, small group, and I don't have I don't know what the other criterias they use. How long people watch the video, how engaged they are, whether or not they like, whether or not they comment. I mean, all of that evidently they can see. I don't know how they see all that on my channel. I don't know how they get into that information. And I wish they would tell me how to understand that, because I don't. I just know that leaving comments is important for algorithms or something like that. But yeah, I don't know what they're talking about. I just kind of do my thing and hope it inspires others, or helps someone else learn how to do something, or inspiration and teaching. That's that's what I do this for, really. And maybe to promote my Etsy shop, which I don't do that very often. I don't think about it. I get so involved in this and telling you what I'm doing, that I feel I don't think about talking about my Etsy shop. But I do have an Etsy shop. It's Tink and I Treasures. And I have some beautiful things, at least in my opinion anyway, in my shop. So if you ever have a few minutes to go over and take a look. I don't have digitals. Well, I do. I'll take that back. I mean, I do have digitals, but the digitals I have are things that I made. Everything is handmade on my shop. Even the digitals are handmade. They're not computer generated, if that makes sense. I don't have the software to do something like that, or the know-how to do something like that. So I have some digitals. I have some collage digitals that I made. Some collages I made that I actually liked well enough and thought other people might like them too. I have some watercolor. Well, they're journal kits, and the pages are, you know, watercolor, flower, you know, watercolors. So, yeah. And of course, I have some journals, and I have some memory keepers, which are awesome. I have myself, I have like I think I'm up to 4 of them now, and they just, and I don't know, we don't really go anywhere or do anything, so I'm not really sure, you know, how these are getting filled, but they do. You know, I have 4 of them. Well, 3 that are filled, and I'm on the 4th one. And I just, you know, slip in photos, notes that I get, you know, notes, not really letters, because, you know, people don't do that anymore, but notes that I get, thank you cards, or cards that I get, or, you know, postcards or something like that. And it's just nice to, I know when I first made one and I went through the house, and, you know, all the drawers, and, you know, you have stuff tucked in drawers, in trinket boxes, you know, all kinds of places around your house, right? You have all these things, ticket stubs, from when we went to plays, stuff from when we went on a cruise. I mean, just, you know, all this stuff, and it was just stuck in drawers and trinket boxes and, you know, things like that. And it felt so good to go around the house, gather all this stuff up, and put it in one place, you know? So, I haven't really done this, but this might be cool. Anyway, so yeah, it's nice to gather up all this stuff and put it all in one spot. So, you know, I have all kinds of things, ticket stubs, and just all the little memento things that you keep, you know? So when I've gone places, I usually get postcards, you know, postcards of the place, because, you know, those have really pretty pictures on them, and it says where it is, you know. It's a perfect memento, is it not? I always thought, you know, they were the perfect memento to get, because they had the prettiest pictures, and they had, you know, the name of the place where you were and all this stuff. So, you know, it's nice to just get a postcard or 2 and, you know, stick it in, you know, wherever you do keep things like that. Just, you know, put in a postcard or 2. So I always like to do that. So yeah, I just, I think they're really a nice thing to have. So I do have some in my Etsy shop, I believe. I've gone quiet, haven't I? I am thinking, you know, sometimes when you're collaging, you just, well, it's very relaxing, don't you think? I think it's a relaxing thing to do. And, you know, you don't want to get too, you know, too wrapped up in it. It's not the end of the world. It's not something that you need to fuss about or, you know, spend a lot of time deciding, oh, what should I put down? You know, just do it. Just get some stuff out of, you know, it's a great way to use scraps, you know, and other things that you had floating around on your desk. Just, you know, especially this, because it only takes small little strips, you know, and you just vary the width of the strips, and there you have it. You know, it's not as intimidating and as maybe doing, you know, a full sheet. You know what I mean? So this is a lot less intimidating. You know, it's just 2 inches by 8 inches. That's all it is, you know. And it's a lot less intimidating than, you know, looking at the back of a 12 by 12 sheet of scrapbook paper. And we've done that. You know, I have videos on, you know, making your master board on the back of, you know, some kind of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper that you know, might not want to use. You know, scrapbook papers, pads, always seem to have, you know, a page or 2 or 3 that, you know, even though most of the pad you really liked and you used, they always seem to have a couple of pages, right, that you think, oh, geez. That you would never want to use, you know. So those are great to use, especially if they're one-sided and the back of it is white. You can just, you know, collage on that. Even if the back of it isn't white, even if it's a double-sided, you can still use it and collage. Maybe use the background as poking through here or there, depending on, you know, what the colors are and stuff. But so, you know, we have done that on this channel probably more than once. But, you know, sometimes looking at, you know, facing a big 12 by 12 piece of paper might be intimidating, you know. But this little strip, there's nothing to be afraid of by this little strip, is there? So, yeah, get out your scraps. Cut yourself some strips that vary in width and just start gluing things down. So I was messing about. This is from another video where I showed how to make these little envelopes, and then we use those as, you know, like the focal point of, actually I think those collages were kind of like strips too, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe I've done these things long before, you know, Tim Holtz thought about it. I'm sure we all have, to tell you the truth. I'm sure we all have. Okay. So, I want some music that's a little thinner. Yeah. don't know, my strips, you know, you might want to vary your strips as far as color story goes. I don't know. All my strips, I don't know what's wrong with that. Maybe it's me, but I cut this on the cutter. It just doesn't seem like it's quite right there. Anyway, yeah, just you could vary your colors too if you wanted to. I didn't realize it when I was, you know, cutting my strips. I didn't realize that, you know, I was kind of all in one color story here. Did not realize that. So, you know, it depends. You know, you could do, but basically this is a pretty neutral background, you know, and then, you know, you could have these ready to go in your stash. Just, you know, some of these done up and more neutral backgrounds. And then when you're working on a journal, that's when you add, you know, your focal points or your elements, you know, things like that, or butterflies or what have you. That's when you would add, you know, different things like that that will then bring this into the realm of the journal that you're working on. Hope that makes sense. Gee, I used the cutter on that too, but that is not that is not straight. I don't know. And I don't cut straight either with scissors. You know that. I have a problem with that. So for me to get out my scissors and redo something I've done with the cutter is quite remarkable. So I don't know what happened with my cutter. I must have had things on there crooked or something, which happens. You know, if you're not paying attention to how it's lining up everywhere, you could totally cut things cattywampus, as it were. Let's see. Maybe some more of this. Yeah, it's easy to cut things cattywampus using a cutter. I wish I could cut better using scissors and not use the cutter. Some people do, you know. Some people don't even have a cutter, at least not that I've ever seen them use. So yeah, just thought I'd come along and just give this idea. I'll, you know, share this idea. You know, like I said, oops, I think I might have been out of frame there. Sorry. So yeah, just thought I would come along and show you this and give you some inspiration. It's not quite a how-to, you know, tutorial. It's more of a inspiration on doing something, or doing something a little bit different maybe than you've done before. You know, a master board doesn't have to be any particular size. You know, master board can be any size. So I want to keep that, not that. So yeah, a master board can be any size, and then you come along and you start layering this. So for example, I don't know. I don't know if I have anything right now. Oh, there's another little envelope. Oh, there's another little envelope. So, you know, you could put on butterflies, or you could use labels and stuff. It's kind of, I don't know. That would work. See, there's a little label. So then you come back along and you use labels to cover, you know, your seams and where two things might meet. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of things right here at the ready. So I'm just seeing if this little bowl just kind of lives on my desk. I've got tons and tons, you know. You know me, I'm the queen of ephemera. So I have tons and tons of it, but this little thing kind of lives on my desk. This would be too big. To be too big for any of it. Little envelopes. Yeah, that project was a lot of fun. I don't know if it's come out. I'm sure it's come up by the time you see this. Where I used and where I showed you how to make those little envelopes and the project that I made with those. That would have been up by the time you see this. So I think you know what I'm talking about if you watched the video. If not, you might want to look for it. But yeah, I show you how to make envelopes. So, you know, if you don't have, you know, one of those memory keeper punch boards for making envelopes, I show you how to make envelopes by hand. You know, those punch boards are useful, but they're awfully expensive. I have found them to be, you know, horribly expensive for what it is. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we don't all have those. So now I'm just adding layers to this. So, just kind of go across there with some things. Oh, that's upside down. It goes like this. So just inking up a little bit on this level. You could totally ink up your first level if you want to. Oops, over here. There we go. I'm sorry, I'm pulling it close to me again, aren't I? Okay, so there's another one of those. Yeah, I just pulled all this stuff from just floating around on my desk pretty much. These are like little stickers, but I like to run stickers through the glue stick anyhow, you know, because you can't always trust the adhesive on a sticker and how good it's going to hold. So that? Okay. So I don't know. Do I want that on here anywhere? Maybe not. Maybe that doesn't work. Maybe that doesn't work. And this butterfly. No, that has good colors for here. Kind of like that. That's nice. Oh, let's see. What else do we have hanging out? Oh, those are from making. Making the envelopes. Oh, here we go. Here's a bunch of stuff that we could use. There's a bunch of labels. We got some mushrooms. I love mushrooms. I don't hardly use them. Do you? I really like the mushrooms, but I don't find myself using them very often. Don't know why. Just never seem to go. Do you? Do you use mushrooms? New designs. Yeah, these are awesome. This will work. It's the right color, I think. Right color. Up there like that. See, yeah, we're not going to worry about this too awful much, you know. This is not an activity that should be stressful, or, you know, you don't need to spend all day going back and forth on whether you should put something down. You know, it's supposed to be very fluid, relaxing, just, you know, just putting things down. Just make it a very relaxing activity, and don't stress yourself out about, oh, does this look good or does that look good or what have you. No, don't do that to yourself. Just put things down. Just have fun. Just have fun. Okay, so I like this. That's cool. And we can go sideways with things. Oh, jeez. Oh, I was going this way, wasn't I? I think so. Doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, these little cards come in so handy just to stick things down and spread the glue around, and They're like one of the most useful tools I have on my desk. And they're not really a tool at all. The one I'm using right now was from a hotel room. Oops, I forgot to leave behind when we checked out. So let's see. Those would be good to use on some point. I like that. Which way is that supposed to go though? Oh, it's supposed to go like that, isn't it? Well, don't want to cover the butterfly. That's not so bad right there. Ooh, boy. Suddenly this has gotten really juicy for some reason. What a product coming out right now. There we go. That's nice. Anyway, yeah, you get the idea, right? Just come along and start, you know, building layers. And, you know, like I said, you can make a bunch of these and just leave them pretty neutral. And then when you're making a journal, then you add on some of these finishing touches, you know, so it matches, maybe it matches, you know, the color story that you have for your journal, or some elements that you're using. Maybe you're using a digital kit and you have ephemera and stuff from that digital kit, you know, that you can put on this. So, yeah. Anyway, these are the other ones I made. Well, you saw me make that one, and you saw me make that one. There's that one. I mean, they're all pretty much the same because, you know, I was using stuff that, you know, I had sitting here. So, but yeah, I mean, that was a label that I had. And of course, this is a piece of ephemera that I've had floating around on my desk for a long, long time. And I thought, I'm just going to use that. So anyway, thanks for joining me. And I hope you enjoyed this little project and found some inspiration. And yeah, just a little strip of paper. It's not intimidating. So go ahead and have some fun and make some collages that you can use in your journal books and your journals. So until next time, please take care of you, love each other, and I'll see you again. Bye.